Hello, this message is for Lindsay Lohan. Today is November 9th, 2018, around 11:30 in the afternoon. 11:30 p.m. I'm here to send you a message. It's the first recorded message, video recording, that I have sent to you. I'm sending it to your attorney, Sean Chapman Hawley, and the entire staff at the quickalaw.com law firm, a law firm that I helped coordinate for you after you were sentenced to 1 year in solitary confinement and you were placed on 5 or 6 psychiatric drugs. Your face had become deformed. You had lost ability to match colors, as is often the case when you're overdosed with psychiatric drugs. You were also addicted to alcohol, repeatedly driving drunk, and addicted to a certain kind of pills that would give you rushes, and you were going out late at night. You hadn't made a movie in 6 years, and I hope that you can look up some photographs of yourself in 2009 and see that your face was contorted, as is often the case with psychiatric drugs because they cause spasms when they're overused. Your face becomes contorted, as if, and also a lot of other side effects that I mentioned in the pleading that I sent to your attorney for review. Your attorney had previously been unable to get you out of prison in and out. You were still getting on drugs. You were still repeatedly using drugs, repeatedly drunk driving, and had been caught doing so, and were a danger to society because you could kill somebody by accident when you drunk drive. It's one of the leading causes of death. So I helped you, and I want you to know that I didn't know who you were, Lohan. Most professionals in the world, they work from 9 to 5. I'm here to correct you on a few things. You think that you are the only thing on a person's mind 24 hours a day on people, and that is not the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. Thank the Lord that other people are thinking about work, charity, goodness, their own families, their own children, and their own beautiful spouses that they make love to at night. But you and your public relations team seem to be involved in trying to monopolize people's brains, and that is against the law in the United States. Monopolies are against the law, but it also very harmful to people, because it's one thing to be famous, and it's another thing to force yourself in people's brains as you do when you pose with knives, when you threaten to murder people, when you threaten to kill people, when you threaten to murder civilians if attention isn't completely given to you 24 hours a day. That was things that I did not know about. In fact, most people didn't know who you were. And so my correspondence to you was very, very, very professional. And I never imagined that there would be this kind of unprofessional response as such a professional correspondence. Since then, I've sent about 25 more pieces of correspondence, handwritten. Again, sending a copy to Queen Elizabeth, Pope Francis, an attorney involved, and then also involving my colleague David Mayer de Rothschild to deliver correspondence, in particular because David's father and family is very involved in the media. They own large shares of media companies, so it is actually professionally appropriate to use the term care of, C/O, to ask someone to deliver correspondence. In particular, if they own a media company by which they can get a hold of. And I have a letter, actually, sent to you at a hotel, care of a hotel that you were staying at. And I have a copy of the letter, so you know what care of means, because you had received care of correspondences before. You know that it means that somebody was delivering a correspondence to you. It didn't mean that you were involved or that you had a right to force someone. You know what care of is, so you misused that correspondence, and so did your attorney, to try to actually human traffic other people. So I'm trying to let you know I didn't know who you were, and I'm trying to save my life because you become so envious of me that you try to decapitate millions of innocent people. You try to murder them, and I'd never actually seen that kind of evil in action before. And I actually believe that the devil has been forgiven. Some people believe that. There's a book, Enoch, where they talk about the devil being forgiven. So I like to talk about misguidance and not being raised properly, or being discapacitated as you are when you were on drugs, being racist, lack of education, a lack of manners, pure racism. All of these things are under the umbrella of evil, but I like to use the word misguidance. And you also had this megalomaniacal idea. So I'm trying to cure you and also help save the world, because Nobody should be in somebody's mind 24 hours a day, unless it is your spouse and your children. And you don't have the right to go in and try to decapitate innocent people, to force them into sexual mental relations with you, because you want money and you want complete world control. It is something I have never in my entire life witnessed. I never imagined in my wildest imaginations that you or anybody would attempt to do that. I think that you're worse than Charles Manson, worse than Hitler, worse than Stalin, worse than most dictators and mass murderers. I mean, World War II lasted 4 years. You've been trying to kill people for 9 years. So I think that you're very, very, very misguided, and you need to really get on your knees, ask God for forgiveness, and change your behavior, because I believe everybody gets up and is forgiven, that you already have eternal life. But the evil that you do, the bad things you do, they're making you sick, and that's why you look like you're 85 years old when you're only 31, and why I look like I'm 16 or 21. And that's a beauty secret I'm going to share with you, that when you try to kill people and you want to be mean and murder people, it goes right back to you. So this whole idea that I disenfranchised you is false. I actually helped you out of a terrible situation. You were a lesbian at the time, 2009, involved in a relationship with a woman who wanted to murder you. Okay, she was tweeting, "I hope you die. I hope Lindsay Lohan just dies." Samantha Ronson had tweeted that about you. Your attorney was unable to get you out of prison. Your family was not in the courtroom when you were sentenced to 1 year in solitary confinement. And I came out and I risked my life to help you out of drugs. When you have a drug dealing network, and by the way, cocaine is the drug of choice in London and England. And if the English don't get their cocaine, they start killing people in South America, because most South Americans and Central Americans don't use cocaine. They use a little bit of marijuana, but cocaine is something the English want. So you're not, this drug trade is very, very lopsided in its presentation. And you know, that's, so what I'm trying to tell you, Lohan, is that you need to change and stop murdering people, because other people are murdering too. You're not alone. It's something that I really never imagined existed. So I hope that this correspondence would be like a mother to a child, a friend to a friend, a sister to a sister, telling them, listen, something is wrong. You're not behaving properly. Your family got caught attempting to decapitate millions of people. You know what? I wish you well in everything that you do. That is good. But the bad things that you do, you have to ask forgiveness for, because the more you do them, the older you're going to get, the sicker you're going to get, and you're going to look like you look now. And I don't wish bad things on anyone, because I forgive you before those things happen. But right now, you have a choice, because eternal life is already granted to everyone. But you have a choice to live in complete misery, trying to decapitate and murder innocent people because you are envious of people, stealing my face and photoshopping your face to look like me. I'm flattered, thank you. I mean, I guess I have a doppelganger, someone who's getting plastic surgery to look like me. But at some point, when I appear in the media, I hope that you're honest enough to say, you got plastic surgery to look like Christina, or that you Photoshop yourself to look like me, instead of attacking me. So it's very important, Lohan, that you get on your knees and you pray. And it's dark out there, because there are other people out there murdering too. But you and your family got caught being racist and attempting to decapitate and murder innocent people. And by the way, in 2009, David Mayer de Rothschild was involved with many Swedish models, if I'm not mistaken. He was dating all over the world beautiful models, okay? At the time, in 2009, you didn't know who David Mayer de Rothschild was, personally. Number one. Number two, you were in prison, in and out, and you were in a lesbian relationship. So I say this so that the future will always be clear, that I did not disenfranchise you. I introduced you to a gentleman, and you tried to decapitate the gentleman, and decapitate innocent Jews, and decapitate innocent Latin people, and even decapitate other white women to force someone into sexual relations or to get media access. It was something that was horrific. It was a terrible, terrible situation worldwide. And I hope, and everybody's patient, because we understand you're a drug addict, that you're addicted to alcohol, and you take pills, and hope that's changed. But as I said, I forgive you. I could die tomorrow, and I forgive you. But the evil that you've done pounds back on you, on yourself. You look like you're 85 years old. Your face looks completely different. You chose a path of murder, and you could be restored. but you've got to change. And your attorney and your staff also needs to stop unjustly enriching themselves from you. Because if David wanted to go out with you, he has that freedom of choice. There's no reason for you to go and start decapitating people. And that's what you've been trying to do for 9 years. And I hope that you change for the sake and peace of the world and for any children that you bring into the world. And I'm at a McDonald's and I came here purposely. So that you know, if you ever feel, the care of, it's a very common experience for people. When you walk down the street and another woman's husband hands you a cup of coffee or opens the door for you, are you going to start setting the habit that you have the right to kill someone's husband? You know that because David asked me to marry him a long, long time ago. And I said no because I was very busy and in love with someone else. But he continued to pursue me even to this day. And that is none of your concern for a monopoly. I actually divulged that to you because it's the truth. But what you have to do now is stop trying to kill people. Because David right now is dating other people when I asked him to go. So I didn't unjustly enrich myself from you in any way because I knew David many years before. So I hope that you change and stop murdering people. Not because it helps me out. Of course it does. I'm going to live forever. I'm going to be resurrected in an instant and be with the Lord and actually probably walk around like a ghost. But for you, because I think that if you continue to do this, you're just going to get older. Your face is going to become contorted. Everything that you want, you're not going to be able to get. So you and your family need to change, because right now David is dating other people, and I'm not holding anybody by ball and chain, and I'm about to be married to someone else. So you have chosen, and your attorney has chosen, a very, very, very evil path, a misguided path. The Lord can forgive you, but you have to change. You have to stop trying to murder people. And so I hope that this correspondence video recording is enough to change you, to stop murdering. And so here I am at a McDonald's. And so if you ever want to think of me, if I ever am decapitated by one of your mass murdering networks, you can just come to a McCafe and get a $1 any size. Think of me, that I forgive you, and that these McDonald's chains are here because people, they break up. Sometimes they fall in love with someone that isn't married to them. And they have to live with a little bit of, oh, he was taken. But they don't kill people. They don't do any of that. They just live with that. Understand? It's part of life. So go to Mickey D's, because it's a very, very normal experience in everyday life to walk into a restaurant and to see a beautiful man with his wife. You have no right. You have no right to kill people. No right to kill people. No rights whatsoever. Because if I'm dying with a beautiful, handsome man and he's my husband, you have no right to come here and murder my husband because you want to Photoshop your face and you are envious and you are racist. And you chose the path of serial killing and sadomasochism. I don't know who you think you are, but every police station in the world is aware of what you are doing. And Canada banned you from entering into their country. And it pained me for 8 years to have to defend the world from your choices.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I wish you well, and I hope you change. Thank you.